Hi everybody, this is Terry from Rambles of a Texas Craft Room, and what I would like to ramble about today is this card that I made. A friend asked me if I would make a card for a friend of hers, and so I was online the other day looking for some inspiration when I saw a lady who works for Sizzix, and she was showing some new CHA stuff that's coming out in the fall, and Sizzix has a new die to make a card like this. Well, I didn't want to wait till the fall, of course, and you know Sizzix, they're very expensive, so I don't know if I'm going to buy one anyway. But anyway, I figured out how to make the card without buying her die, but using a different die that I already owned. Okay, so when you open up the card, this is what it does. Just like that. Isn't that cute? And they're calling it an accordion album. And basically, you could use it as an album, but I thought it would also work as a card. It just sits like that. It has 4 sections. Now, how you do this is you do one section and you just put together like a train as many as you want. I mean, if you want 6, you can do 6. If you only wanted 3, you can only do 3. And mine just has a little mouse holding up the baby to a cupcake that is a stamp that I colored, and it says, "It's your day, happy birthday, and celebrate." And all of these came off the birthday bash. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to make this. It's very simple. It is a little time consuming. So if the Sizzix die is not too expensive, I would probably consider buying it when it came out. But if you don't, you can certainly, if you already have a die, you can certainly make this. Let me show you how to make it. What you're going to need is you're going to need one of these wafer thin dies. And the one I chose, this is by Spellbounders, and it makes this rose. And I chose the largest one. It's about 4.5 inches. So on your measurements, when you do yours, because yours may be different, you may use a different die. You could use the scallop die. You could use lots of other dies. This is a 4.5 inch die, so I cut my paper a 1/2 inch larger. So just remember this, and this is a 5 by 5 inch square, okay? And what you're going to do, you take your 5.5 inch square, and you're going to score it in 3 places. Let me move this down to make sure I'm in the screen. Okay, you're going to score it in 2 places. You're going to score it at 2 1/4, and then again at 2 1/2. And then you're going to come over to 4 3/4, and you're going to score that. Okay, and you're going to do that to all 4 of your pieces, or however long you want to make yours. Okay, then once you get that done, you're going to take out your Cuttlebug or whatever die cutting system that you have. The Cuttlebug works perfect for this. I have the new Fuse, which I love, but it's too big to bring over here. So, okay, what you're going to do is you're going to take your A plate and your B plate, and you're going to turn your little 5 by 5 where the score lines that you made in the middle are running horizontal. And you're going to take your die, and what you're going to do, I hope you can see it in the screen, is you're going to lay the center of your die in the middle of this score line that you made in the middle. And you're going to adjust it. And you can measure this if you want. It's about 1/4 inch all the way around. And then you're just going to tape it down. Okay? But you're going to turn it to where it goes horizontal. Okay? Because then we're going to take our C plate. And what you're going to do is we're going to line that C plate up right to that first score line. Don't go over it. You're going to go right to that score line. And this is the best way I found to do it, is set it right on the score line, just like that. And when you roll it in your Cuttlebug in, as soon as this C plate disappears, stop. Okay, as soon as you see it gone, come on back out. That's as far as you need to go. And because we turned the die down instead of up, it's sort of sticking to the B plate. Doesn't harm it much. And so we're just going to turn it, never even move it. And we're going to take our C plate. Now we're going to put it on the second score line. We're going to put it right on that score line. Right here. And now we're going to roll it in. Uh-oh. Let me make sure it turned on me. Hold on. I don't want it to... you got to make sure it's right on that score line. You can't go inside that score line. Okay, there it is. Okay. Now, as soon as it disappears, you're going to come right back out. Okay, and you're going to do that to all 4 pieces. And what you're going to look for is you're going to make sure that it went all the way up to that line. You don't want it to go over the line, but you want it to go all the way up to the line. If it doesn't, then you just take your scissors and you just nip the very tiny little piece that didn't go all the way to that line. And that's all you do. Okay? Now we're ready to assemble. And the assembly part is very simple. What you're going to do is where you scored this 1/4 of an inch, turn all of those to the right. And just line them up like this. Okay? And then we're just going to, now you can use tear tape, you can do red line tape. I, of course, am going to use my 3-in-1 because it is my favorite. And all it's going to do is you're going to go on that line, and we're going to just butt these up. Okay. We're going to do the next one. But this is good for a score line tape or a red line tape. You're going to butt it right up. Let it dry. And then we're going to do the last one. Now on this last one, you're not going to need this section here, so we're going to cut it off, but we're going to save this because we are going to use it for something else. So you're just going to cut off the score line because you're not going to need it. You don't have anything to butt it up against. But you're going to save this because we're going to need it for something else. Okay? So then we put this right on the line. Okay? And you put it right on your little score line right there because it's going to fold for you in just a second. Okay? So now you've got 4 or how many ever you want. Now we're going to start folding them. And this is the same basic folding when you're making a Zigo card. You're going to have a valley and you're going to have a mountain. The first one is going to be a valley. So you're going to fold it like that. Okay? It's going to go that way. And this one is going to be a mountain. Okay? And then this one is going to be a valley. And it's right there. You just fold it right there on your score line. It's already there for you. Okay? So that's what it looks like. Now what you're going to do is we're going to connect these 4 little pieces together. And that's what this little piece of paper is going to do. You're going to cut this about 1 inch. And you're going to put it, you can use score line tape. You can use whatever you like to attach these. Okay, on mine, I have one little nub here, and that's where I'm going to put it. When you watch her video, which I will give you the link to her original video, she has 2, and so she connects 2. But for this particular die that I use, I don't have 2. I only have the 1. So it works better to put. Now, what you're going to do on the first one is, if there is a valley, you're going to go above the valley. So you're going to do it on top of the fold. And you want these to butt up, but not touch. But just rarely butt up to each other, but don't touch. And then you let your glue dry. Now, the next one, this is a mountain. And on the mountains, we're going to go behind. Okay? So we're going to take our little leftover, and we're going to cut another inch. We're going to put our glue, and we're going to go behind. So we're going to go here, and we're going to connect it behind our fold. Okay, same thing. We're going to butt them up, but we're not going to have them touch. Okay, can you see that? It's hard to see it, but when you do it in person, it's not that hard. It's just hard to see around this with my camera. Okay, so we're going to let it dry. Okay. Okay, now this one is a valley, so we're going to go in front. So we're going to cut another piece, about 1 inch. And we're going to put here and put here. Okay, because we're going to go on top of the fold. Okay, and we're going to let it dry. Just hold it a second. You could use a glue dot. You could use whatever. Okay, there we go. There we go. And there's our... Now, what we have to do now is we have to train it how to fold up. Now, if there is a tricky part, this is it. But it really isn't tricky. It's just, you just have to get it to fold. Okay, so you're going to turn it. And where there is a valley, you want these to go the opposite. So if this is a valley, this is going to be a mountain. So you're going to fold it like that. Just like that. Okay, now this one is going to go forward, and this one's going to go backwards. Okay, same thing here. This is going to go opposite. This is going to go forward. That one's going to go backwards. And there you go. And just remember, they're going to go opposite. Okay, and then when you open it, voila, there you go. You just make those two fold back. On the second line there, fold that back. And on this one's on the second line here, fold that back. And there it is. Voila. Now on mine, I use two-sided paper. This is Kane Company paper on both sides, where it would be decorative on both sides. This one only has it on one side, but you certainly could do that. And also what I did is on these shapers, on these shapes, I just took the next smallest one, and that's what I made the one that goes on the inside, to decorate on the inside. So this is really good about these. You just take the next smallest one, cut out whatever color you want, and you put it on there. And it covers up all of these lines here. Isn't that cool? Now, they are coming out with a fantastic die to do this, but you know those dies are going to be $50. And then there's a company die that goes with it that cuts out some other shapes for these, and that's going to be another $50. So if you don't want to spend $100, but you want to make this card, and you have some dies laying around that you've already purchased, there it is. That's what you could do with it. Isn't that cool? I was so excited when I figured this out. Well, thank you very much. I'm sorry I'm not going to have time to decorate it, but you can decorate it however you like. You could also, if you use this out of chipboard, you could make a great album out of it. It would be really good for a baby album. There we go. Fantastic. Thank you very, very much for coming by. And be sure to stop at my blog, Ramblings of a Texas Craft Room, and go to the video that I'm going to give you the link to and watch her original video on the new die. It's really fantastic. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.